Okay, let's dive right in. We're looking at a really significant order today from the Karnataka High Court.
Yeah, it tackles a fundamental question about the POCSO Act, that's the Protection of Children from Sexual Offenses Act.
The specific issue was, well, can a woman who allegedly gets a minor boy to penetrate her be charged under the Act for penetrative sexual assault?
Exactly. And the court's answer was a clear yes. It strongly affirmed the gender-neutral nature of the law, specifically for penetrative assault.
So our mission here is to kind of unpack how the court arrived at that, right? How they dealt with the legal arguments, the stereotypes.
And even some biological arguments that came up. It's quite a detailed ruling.
Let's start with the legal interpretation bit. The case itself involved a 52-year-old woman, and she was booked under Sections 4 and 6 of POCSO.
Right. Those are the key sections for punishment related to penetrative sexual assault.
And her defense team had a very specific argument, didn't they, based on the wording?
They did. They pointed to phrases in Section 4 like, he penetrates his penis, arguing that this language implies the law is only meant for male perpetrators, focusing heavily on that word he.
So a very literal, kind of technical reading of that one section.
But the court didn't buy it.
Yeah.
Justice Nagaprasana looked at Section 3, which actually defines the offense.
And what did Section 3 say?
Well, crucially, it starts with the term a person. The court immediately flagged that as, gender neutral by design.
Oh, okay. So broader than just he.
Much broader. And while Clause A does talk about penis penetration, the court stressed that the definition expands right after that.
How so?
It includes situations where the accused makes the child to do so with her or any other person. That's the key phrase they highlighted.
Makes the child do so.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not just about who physically penetrates, but who causes the act to happen.
Precisely. The court said this clause covers anyone regardless of gender who induces, coerces, or facilitates the act. They explicitly rejected interpretations they called narrow and technical.
Saying that would undermine the whole point of the law, which is protecting kids.
Exactly. Undermining its remedial purpose. But they didn't just stop at the legal text. They also tackled some pretty outdated ideas.
Yeah, the defense brought up stereotypes about sexual roles, didn't they?
They did. The idea that in intercourse, the male is always the active one, the woman always passive.
Which sounds incredibly old-fashioned.
The court thought so too, called it archaic, and said it has no foothold in the present day.
Did they back that up with anything?
Yeah. Interestingly, they cited research, including a paper from Texas Tech University. It highlighted that boys and men are victims too and face barriers reporting, often because of these very stereotypes.
So reinforcing that the law needs to see perpetrators beyond just one gender.
Definitely. But then the defense had one more argument related to physiology. This one's a bit complex.
Okay, what was that?
They argued the boy would have been in shock, and shock prevents, well, an erection. Therefore, penetration couldn't have happened.
That feels like a leap. Connecting psychological shock directly to a physical impossibility.
The court thought so too. They drew a line between shock, the psychological state, and erection or ejaculation, which are physiological, biological responses.
Implying one doesn't automatically control the other.
Right. They cited another article, again from Texas, pointing out the involuntary nature of these physiological responses. Fear or coercion might actually compel the body to respond, even without consent.
Wow, so the body might react physically even under extreme psychological distress or fear.
That's what the court suggested, noting that the mind and body don't follow rigid binaries, especially during trauma.
So pulling it all together, what's the big picture here for you watching these legal developments?
The main takeaway is the court doubling down on the intent of POCSO. It's about protecting the child, period. That protection overrides what they called anatomical formality.
It confirms the Act's gender-neutral application, even for the most serious offenses.
Absolutely. Sections 4 and 6 can apply based on the actions described, not just the gender of the accused.
And it leaves you thinking, doesn't it, about the sheer complexity of how trauma affects people.
Yeah, that final point about physiology and psychology, how fear itself might trigger a response the victim doesn't control.
It really forces the law to grapple with the messy reality of assault, moving beyond simple assumptions. Something complex for all of us to consider.